Thanks for having me. It's nice to meet everybody. I'm Allison, Punchlist USA. I am home advisor. Lindsay Pryor. She's not able to be here today, but she's the business development manager, and we'll introduce her contact information at the end of the slide. So in a nutshell, what we are able to do is take your home inspection report and provide you an estimate of all of the items on the report. So you can drop that whole report in our system, and we will estimate it and get it back to you the next day. We do this because it's been our experience that when folks get this inspection report, the first thing that they often do is get a little bit freaked out by how many things are on it, and by the fact that some of those things are unfamiliar, or they don't know what it's going to cost, or maybe perhaps they don't know anyone who can fix it. So these are some of the top 10 things that we've found in inspection reports over the last several years. We've been running some of our larger inspection partners reports, such as pillar to post nationwide through our algorithm and our process for estimating. And these are the things we came up with that had the most common occurrence. So I'm sure those look familiar to a lot of y'all who've been in real estate for a while. Those are the most common recommendations.
Hey, Allison, we're having a little trouble understanding you. It's kind of getting garbled. The sound is coming through. I don't know, maybe speaker.
I'll try to lean a little closer.
That's much better. Much better.
We try to provide you answers to what these common repairs are going to cost. We're also able to estimate not so common repairs. So we have a combination approach of an algorithm and a human team that do this estimating for us. And we have a roster of local contractor pros in each market who can do these repairs for us. So as we're going through our process, we're able to go back to our contractors and rather calibrate our estimates. So we try to land on that magic number that your agents.
We're still having that garble. You're kind of getting in and out sounding.
Okay. I wonder if I tried to get on with my iPhone, it might work out a little better.
Maybe.
Let me try that. Not just a minute. I'll pull up the. Recording in progress. Okay. All right. So can y'all hear me a little better?
You're coming. I think you're going to have to mute your main screen and probably turn your audio all the way down. And then let's see if that makes it better.
Absolutely.
Lauren, you might be able to, oh yeah, there she goes. I was gonna say you might be able to mute her, but she just
right.
muted.
I probably could have. Did she mute?
Yeah, she muted. Yeah.
Okay, now we can't hear you at all. So maybe turn up your phone volume.
Her phone's muted.
Your phone's muted.
Okay. Better?
Yes, but now we have an echo. So it's probably your audio on your computer. You'll have to turn it all the way down, the volume. So muting doesn't always work.
Okay.
Mute it, or like take that little icon that's there. You go. Now try.
Better. Okay. Last time. Working now? Yes, okay, great. Perfect. I'm usually better at technology than this. I very much apologize.
No, it happens to all of us. Believe me, I've been there.
Okay.
Could you go ahead and start over, because it was hard from the very beginning to understand, and we have more too. So.
Okay, so we are able to estimate any home inspection report for your partners. We can get that estimate back to you the next day. So we are aiming to simplify the estimate process by providing you the answers on how what are the costs on the inspection report. You can take your whole inspection report and just drop it in our system, and we will go through it. We have a combination of an algorithm and a team that will price all of the items on the inspection report and get that back to you the next day. So you can go over that with your buyers, and sometimes seeing the prices of each of the items on there will help them focus a little bit and calm down. And we hope that it makes the process less stressful for everyone. So in working with our larger inspection partners over the years, we've come up with this cool list of things most commonly found on inspection reports. And we can definitely estimate any of those items. And we can also estimate the things not so commonly found on there. So anything from plumbing, electrical, HVAC, on into major renovations. If you have a listing coming up that needs renovations, we can absolutely estimate that as well. We'll talk about that here in just a minute. All right, so common post-inspection challenges that we're looking to solve. Now, ordinarily, when you get an inspection report and your buyer wants to know exactly how much all of these items are going to cost, you're out scrambling to find all the contractors that can answer the questions. Maybe you know a couple of them, but maybe there's still some kind of outstanding issues that you've got to get quoted. You find all those contractors, and then you've got to know whether they're good or not, or whether they're going to give you a fair price, or whether they're going to be knowledgeable and be able to provide the information you need. Gather all that together. Your option period is going to tick-tock on you while you're doing all of that. And then if any of that needs repairs, any of those repairs need to be done to satisfy the lender or to close the transaction, you're going to have to arrange all those contractors to come out and do that work. And that can be stressful for you and for the buyer and for the seller, really. So we try to take all of this off your plate by estimating the inspection report, getting you those answers. We're also able to manage the entire project. So with your project, you're going to get a dedicated customer service representative that will put together your contracting team, who will schedule the contractors, will oversee the work. We have a field team that will oversee all the work and vet it for quality. And when we are done, we can invoice the title company and be paid from the closing proceeds. If that's something that the seller would like to pay for some of the repairs, we can definitely we can definitely be paid by the seller from the closing proceeds. If the buyer would like to have the repairs done after close, perhaps the seller is going to provide a little bit of money at the closing table. We can definitely do those repairs once the closing is done. So however you would like to arrange it, we can do that, but we'll handle the invoicing and financial details. So it's not something that you have to organize yourself as the realtor. We are your one-stop repair solution. Our estimates are always complimentary. In Dallas and Fort Worth and all of the surrounding, most of the surrounding exurbs communities. So some of the zip codes might be a little further out. We might be less likely or less able to handle, like say some of the zip codes 50 miles or more outside of Dallas and Fort Worth. If that's the case, we can still do the estimate. We might have to return it in 2 days rather than 1. But for most of the communities, like we just picked up Melissa and the Sherman, Pottsboro area on out into Ellis and Tarrant counties as well. So we have pretty good coverage. If in doubt, give me a call and I can always let you know. You can book online for any repairs that your buyer or seller would like to approve. They will go down the estimate and click the approve button, and our dedicated customer service manager, Angela, will call to schedule those repairs at a convenient time, and we'll put together and dispatch all of the professionals that are going to handle the work. So we have a partnership with NAR that allows us to extend you a 5% savings for any items that you would like to approve. We have a price match guarantee. If you find a lower bid from your contractor and it's comparable in scope, comparable in qualifications, we're happy to match that bid and many times can beat it by 10% or 2,500, whichever comes first. If the total of the project is under 10,000, we are able to be paid entirely at closing. So nothing is due up front for those jobs under 10,000. Above 10,000, we do ask for a 30% deposit. We have a quality guarantee and a 1-year warranty on all of our work.
Okay, so you would start with a free account, and if you want to hit the QR code that's on the screen, it'll take you to your NAR profile where you can set up a profile with us and start uploading estimates whenever you are ready. So you can just take your inspection report PDF and either upload or drag and drop it into the system. Answer a couple of questions about it and send it off to us. And we will go through it and have that estimate back to you the next day. I'm supposed to say 24 hours, but I say next day. So sometime before business the next day. Yeah, and you will get your estimate by email and click approve to book. And your success manager will call and confirm your project start date. Now you can always book during the transaction, but if you would like, if the buyer is the one booking, they can schedule it after close. We can definitely get them on the schedule for anything that they want to have wrapped up. Quickly.
Allison, just real quick, I believe you directed people to go to NAR to start the process, but we have at BF office a blue tile that's called Punchlist.
Okay.
And that's where our team can go in and start the process there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We have that landing page for y'all to go in and start the process. Absolutely. Your
Yes.
partners benefits.
Okay.
We want to know that helps us organize where the estimates are coming from. So absolutely, we want to make sure you get all the benefits of your partnership with us.
Thanks, Sherry.
Apologize for the extraneous information there. I know everybody who's an agent here is going to be a member of NAR as well. So for your client beyond the sale, we have free on-site consultations, select finishes online, and quick pricing and project turnarounds. So if any of y'all will typically represent the seller, what we can do for you is we can send our territory manager or superintendent to walk through, these are punch list employees, can walk through the home with you and scope for any repairs that it might take to get that home to sell for more money. Now, if that's a pre-listing and you haven't got it under contract just yet, maybe it's not even on the market just yet, we can do those repairs so that when you do list it, you get more money or an easier sale process, and we can be paid for those repairs at the close. So that's a pre-listing. Excuse me, and it follows the same rules as the other. If it's 10,000 or less, nothing is due until close. So we're able to extend that 90 to 120 days for y'all to sell the home, and then can be paid from the close at that point. We can also invoice it or share it in any combination between the buyer or seller that y'all would like. Any questions about the estimates of inspection reports or the walkthroughs?
I have a question. So if you're able to, put your fees on closing, what if it doesn't close?
If it doesn't close, we ask you to pay 5% a month in payments after the time passes and it's not sold. Then yes, we can start payments at that point. Okay. Not had it happen just yet, but we would absolutely work with you on that. We know the market's crazy.
Yeah. Okay.
We kind of ask up front that you, the agent, we don't want the agent to be in the paying seat in any event. We want the buyer to be the one that hits approve, or the owner at the time of repairs. They're going to be the ones that have to hit the approve button, and we can go into that here in a minute. But right. For these pre-listings, we do ask you as the agent to provide us a comp summary and a little bit of a, I guess, your personal opinion on how quickly it'll sell. And then we'll just, the equity that's involved in it, you can get us your buyer can get us, your owner, I'm sorry, can get us a mortgage sheet showing that the equity covers the costs of repairs. It's a really easy process, and we will just take it from there.
What is the typical turnaround time for repairs? I know it's, case by case scenario and what that is. What is typical? Absolutely. I would say the rule of thumb that I was told, and I think it might be a pretty broad rule of thumb, is that we can wrap up about $1,000 of repairs per day. And we do have crews that can work on weekends. So if it's a larger project,
with plumbing and AC and electrical, oftentimes we don't want to schedule those guys all at the same time. So we do have our team leader, our territory manager who oversees and who will help to make sure that everything goes off according to a plan. The first day after you've approved a larger job, we will walk through and answer any questions that you have and kind of outline a game plan with the territory manager and the lead contractor, and make sure that all of those questions about the timeline are answered with specifics. But rule of thumb would be $1,000 a day.
Okay.
But we have managed to wrap up larger projects. I believe we had $100,000 project renovation that did take several months for various reasons. This kind of brings me to change orders. And people will often ask occasionally, well, what if something turns out to be a bit different than we thought it was when we get there? And I'll use the example of we moved the area rug and there was a spot under it where the rug hadn't moved for the 40 years the gentleman owned the house. So there was a patch under it that was a different color. And we didn't have any way of knowing that until we moved the area rug, which is kind of a lighthearted example. But what we will do in that case is let you know, hey, something came up, we found this. It would take this to address it. And then you will be able to, or you and your homeowner will be able to say yay or nay to that.
Okay.
That answer all of the questions on that particular instance, how quickly the project can be contained. Now, change orders, we try to avoid them. We don't try to get them. So definitely if something looks like it might be of any sort of complication at all, somebody wants a tile wall removed around a shower to install a new bathtub, and we'll say, well, it's going to cost this much to take away the tile wall. But if we find, because she'd mentioned a leak as well, that the tile wall falls when we go to remove it because maybe there's more water damage back there than we know about, we'll warn you about that in advance, because it's the last thing we want to have happen is to have to find things that we didn't expect. So
yeah,
orders are unavoidable, but we do try to head them off as best we can. And of course, we'll communicate them.
And then if the homeowners are living in the house, are they still allowed to live in that? I mean, I guess it depends on, well, just, I guess, are the homeowners still allowed to live in the house if they're getting some renovations done and repairs?
Absolutely. We can work around that with all of the, within of course reason. I know there was a lady who had a major home renovation, and she'd also had a stroke recently, and she was wheelchair bound, and she lived in the house throughout the renovation. So I think she stayed in one room, and she had a caregiver that could remove her to somewhere else when major things were going on that we didn't want her to be present for. But yes, we're able to work around that. We've done it several times for homeowners who are going to be there, who may or may not be able to go during the day. So yes, this is communicated with us, of course, and we're always happy to accommodate.
Awesome. Thank you.
Only exception on that one would be if somebody has so many of their possessions in the room that it kind of blocks the walls, but I know that's a different story entirely.
Okay.
Other questions?
Any other questions, guys?
Okay, so I'm always ask questions later, but I'm going to go on ahead and move on to the VIP maintenance because we're excited about this one. All right, so this is a new program that we have rolled out recently of the gift of stress-free home ownership. So what we can do for the VIP maintenance program is we will do 4 service visits a year. We do gutter cleaning, service the water heater, the HVAC and heat systems, clean out those little lint traps behind the dryer. We can change the air filters, and do a wellness check of the home. And we'll do this spring, summer, winter, fall, 4 times throughout the year. And also provide a gift box for your buyer or seller during the closing process. So you can hand them this nice little box as a gift. And the service can also be a gift that comes with the box, of course. It comes with a little landing page that the client will go to in order to manage their VIP membership. And that page will include a blurb about you and a little flag with a reminder of the agent, keep you top of mind for the year that your buyers are enrolled in the VIP program. So this is $550 total value. This month of May, if you were to approve a work order of 5,000 or more, we would throw this in. This is a promotion for the month of May. We're real excited to offer that. If it's less than 5,000, we can provide a 25% discount on this membership. Any questions about that one? punchlistusa.com/maintenance. These are the things that will occur at each service visit. So let me see if I left anything out. Detection systems check. If you have smart systems, we can look through those. Exhaust fan service, sink trap and drain cleaning, and of course a home health assessment. And our contractors will be, our punch list employees will be available to answer any questions that you might have as you're going through these 4 visits. Anybody wants more information on that, be sure and give me a call. I'm more than happy to get y'all set up for that, and we can set it up as a closing gift for your buyer. Other concerns or questions? This is Lindsay Pryor. She's your growth partner for the Dallas-Fort Worth office. I am your home advisor. So when you put in work orders or estimates, I will be your main point of contact on the estimates. Lindsay will generally be your main point of contact on presentations or information for your partnership and for the office. You're welcome to call me at any time. That's the end of my presentation. Any questions?
Anybody online have any questions for Allison?
I had a quick question. I joined a few minutes late, but was just wondering, is there a flat fee that you charge per service? I'm just wondering what that looks like for the client.
We don't have a flat fee for service. When you go through your repair estimate, or if you get a scope for your renovations, it will come looking like an online shopping cart. So you are able to go through it and pick and choose from the various things that you want to have done. And you know, the price will be adjusted according to whatever you knock off the list. So as for a flat fee, like for the hour, like an hourly rate, we don't have that. We have that by the service.
And you did say something earlier about if they have a vendor or a GM that they usually go to, and they have a better quote than yours, you guys will look into that and try to beat it?
Absolutely. We can beat any quote that you have, or we can consider price match or beating any of the quotes that you have. It does need to be written up, you know, professionally in a quote form that we can insert in our little form to be reviewed by estimating. As long as everything is apples to apples, your contractors are, you know, licensed in their applicable fields as applicable, and they're quoting the same thing that we quoted. We price. We're not trying to, we want your business. We appreciate your partnership. We can't compete with everybody, but we can definitely make sure that we are being competitive, and we want to be, we don't want to lose the business for someone else to have come in a bit lower. So we hope that y'all consider running those estimates or other bids by us.
Awesome. Anybody else online have any questions? All right. Well, thank you so much, Allison, for presenting and teaching us a little bit more about Punchlist. We really appreciate you.